Most controversial anime. Anime and controversy sometimes go together a little too easily. While most anime are aimed at general audiences, and anime itself has received fairly general mainstream acceptance, it wasn't always like that, and even today, some titles continue to strike sparks and jolt audiences. Here, in alphabetical order, are some of anime's most notable controversy instigators. 1. Akira. Not just for the brutal, nihilistic, and finally apocalyptic, violence, not just for its cynical view of a society devouring itself alive, but also for the sheer expense of the production that culminated in it not performing nearly as well at the box office as hoped. But it's not remembered today as any kind of white elephant, it's one of the landmark creations of anime. 2. Barefoot Gen. The effects of the atomic bombing of Japan has been explored in any number of live-action movies, Black Rain, Dr. Akagi, but a few anime have examined the subject as well. Few have done it as graphically or heartbreakingly as Barefoot Gen, taken from Keiji Nakazawa's own quasi-autobiographical manga about the bombing of Hiroshima, which Nakazawa himself experienced. The film is unflinching in its depiction of the ghastliness the bomb left in its wake, including the horribly burned Hibakusha, atomic bomb victims. It does end on a slightly more upbeat note than the similarly themed, but it's no less powerful or relevant than that film. 3. Cleopatra, Queen of Sex, Tragedy of Belladonna. Two of the feature films created by Osamu Tezuka's animation production company, Mushi Productions, Mushi Pro, garnered plenty of attention for their adult content, rare for an animated film in the late 1960s, to be sure, but their failures at the box office caused Mushi Pro to go under. Seen today in retrospect, they're both groundbreaking and goofy. Cleopatra is like one of Tezuka's own adult-oriented manga, with a heavy dose of strangeness, but Belladonna is a psychedelic, sexually charged fable with fabled Japanese actor Tatsuya Nakadai providing the voice of Satan. Yes. 4. Death Note. Most people recognize Death Note as a wildly successful anime across the globe, but not an ipso facto controversial one. In mainland China, however, the fad of writing homemade Death Notes caused some schools in the city of Shenyang to ban paraphernalia based on the franchise back in 2008. Students in a few states in the US were also suspended for carrying replica Death Note notebooks with the names of enemies pinned in them, sparking further controversy about the marketing of such a morbid series to young people. The controversy has died down since, thankfully. 5. Elfine Lied. Lucy is a Diclonus, a horned humanoid with a propensity for tearing other human beings to shreds. Her species has a vendetta against all of humanity, no thanks to some of them pinning her up in a cage and torturing her in experiments, but she also has a more innocent, childlike personality that emerges when she's not a killing machine. Aside from the graphic gore and violence, it's the psychological torment in this series that bristled even the coarsest of hairs amongst its viewers.